So hello. Welcome back to my channel. I am Amber Dawn, and I am an intuitive empath, and I am a tarot reader, and I dabble in a little bit of astrology as well. And I love to meditate, so I thought it would be kind of nice to just go on here and talk about some of my just a few of my cool experiences with meditation, just to, give some people like something to look forward to and give you maybe a push to meditating sometimes and following your guidance and hearing messages that you may need to hear from just quieting your mind and enjoying a peaceful meditation. So many things can happen within that. So I did write some things down. So if I look like I'm reading, it's because I am. So first, I do want to talk about how when I would meditate, and still do, I do like to listen to really soothing music, depending on what my focus is for that meditation. So sometimes I will do guided meditations, and other times I'll do chakra meditations, and sometimes I do releasing to release, past experiences that are negative. And so there's so many different ways to meditate, and I can definitely make a video about, different ways. The only reason why I haven't is because I learned from a friend, but also I learned from reading books and going online and finding my answers there. So I figure, if you really want to know, you can go online and look, because it's there. The information is there. However, if you do want me to make a video about some techniques on how to meditate for different things, just let me know down in the comments, and I will do that for you. Okay, so let's go on. So when I meditate, I know that I start to feel this, it's almost like the energy of the universe, or a rhythm. It's the rhythm of the universe. It starts to kind of, nothing ever steps into my body, but it starts to just kind of move me. Like I notice I start to, it's almost like this wave of motion that is starting to move me, and I really like that because I really know that I'm in it, and it's really cool because it's like a pulsating feeling. And so that's something cool that you may experience. Everybody experiences meditation and life differently, right? So, but that's one of my cool experiences that I like. And yes. And if you notice, like on a lot of like pictures of Buddha or statues of Buddha, he always has like this soft little grin. And that is something that I find happens to me too when I'm really starting to get into the meditation, is I start to get this soft grin that is, it's not forced, it just happens. Fix this microphone. Okay. Yeah, and it's like you don't really notice it until you do, and that's kind of how meditation is, because every once in a while your mind might think, and that's okay. That's what meditation is for, is to help us to get back to our breath, get back into the moment, and not let our mind distract us. And it's very beneficial in real life when you're out and about, is when your mind starts to tell you negative things, or you are encountered with something that's not so positive and it kind of bothers you. Meditation, it's a practice, and it helps you learn how to refocus on yourself and your being, and so that you don't have super harsh reactions to whatever's going on. So it is a practice. It takes a long time to train your mind to quiet down, but it's such a soothing, calming practice that it's so worth the time. And it really does, you do start to visualize things and get answers that you normally wouldn't get if you were just thinking too much. You know, I do notice a lot of times because I like to cover my eyes with a handkerchief or whatever, and just because then it really just kind of takes out any kind of distraction. And, you know, I notice like sometimes I'll be in this huge void and it'll be super bright, and then all of a sudden I'll start seeing images. And so I notice like my head will start, you know, turning, you know, moving to look at these images while my eyes are closed and stuff. It's almost like those goggles, you know, I can't think of the DVR, is that what it is? The whatever, the goggles that I've only put them on once just to see what it was like, and I'm not interested. But it was kind of like that. You're just like floating in air, you know. And one of my experiences was all of a sudden I was in a room. Well, it was a void. It was just this huge space, and it was full of monks and many people that I think were just all meditating at the same time as me, and possibly spirits as well. Jesus was there. I'm not religious, but Jesus was there. And so we were just meditating together, and it was really cool. It was like this union, and that was really special to me. So I continued doing that with them, and you know, just to put some healing energy out there for this world of ours. And I really enjoyed that. That was a really cool meditation for me. Another time, I was sitting with my legs crossed, and all of a sudden I felt not hands, but a presence. I felt a presence of love and just envelop me. And I think I was actually doing a releasing meditation. So lots of tears were there. You know, I was bringing up stuff so that I could release it and heal. And sometimes, if you've done this before, you know, it can be really, really hard sometimes, you know. It hurts, but it's healing. So I'm down to do whatever that's going to help me heal. And so it's not like I felt it. It's just, well, yeah, I did feel it. I was being pushed down, so I was in cross-leg position, and I felt this loving presence, like they were doing Reiki on me. It was like that. And slowly my body just folded over, and I ended up kind of face down on the ground, but I was still sitting in cross-legged position. So I was being healed, you know, and I asked for help too. I asked for healing. And so Source took the opportunity to lay some really lovely energy on me, and it ended up pushing me down onto the ground, which was totally fine. And I actually didn't realize it until I did, you know. And so it was interesting. Once it was just because you know what's going on, but at the same time you don't attach to it. And so you don't really realize things until after, or when your brain turns back and says, oh, this is happening, if that makes sense. It can be a little bit confusing. Life is a paradox. Like, there's so many different things. Like, it's just really, when you first get into it, it can be a little confusing to understand like how to meditate and all that. That's why if you want me to, I can make a video. Otherwise, no worries. So So what your mind tends to do, especially in the beginning when you're first starting out, and this is why a lot of people don't even give meditation the time of day, is because people always say, I can't, or they can't, I can't shut my mind down. I just can't. It's too hard. I don't know how. I can't. So whenever you are stuck in that mindset, then you can't, right? Because if you're not even giving yourself a chance, then you're just not going to do it. So of course you can't if you keep saying you can't. You can. And it takes practice, Coming from someone like me, my mind used to always just, really just, it's like a bunch of monkeys in your head, ooh, ah, ah, like constantly. How annoying, So it takes practice. It takes practice to separate yourself from your thoughts, because you're not your thoughts, right? But a lot of us tend to attach to these thoughts, and it's completely unnecessary. It causes a lot of stress and worry and all that stuff. So what I was going to say about the mind is, when you first start to meditate, this definitely happened for me, and of course everybody's experience is different, but it's very common. So if it happens, it's normal. Your mind is going to say, oh, I'm thirsty. Get up and go get some water, in the middle of a meditation or the beginning of your meditation. Your mind might say, I'm hungry, or I have to go do this homework, or I have to make this phone call. It's going to try and distract you, because the mind's job is to keep thinking, and to keep us alive. But the thing is our mind doesn't want to die, but that's what the ego is afraid that it's going to die. And so it does everything that it can to distract you from sitting in the moment. And of course you're not going to die. Like, if you're actually going to live a much better life if you take the time to learn to meditate and to clear your mind. But the mind is like, no, you can't separate from me. I don't want to die. And so it's going to keep trying to keep you busy in the mind. So it does take practice. Don't fear, you're not going to die from meditating. Like I said, it's going to help clear you. It's going to help you focus. It's going to help you throughout your life. It's going to make you have this glow about you. You're going to feel, age slower. You're going to be more connected to your higher power. You're going to have the ability to get answers that you couldn't otherwise get. With a calm mind, you get a lot of answers. And it's a true blessing that we can just sit and do nothing and be in the moment and aware of the moment. It is so powerful. So just keep that in mind if you're a beginner meditator, that it's normal. Your mind's you have to force yourself to stay at least 20 minutes, set your timer and force yourself to stay no matter what your mind says. That phone call can wait for 20 minutes, the homework can wait for 20 minutes. All of that can wait for 20 minutes. So just force yourself. Eventually you'll start to get used to it, and your mind will actually allow you to be in the now and not be talking so much to you. So I'm almost done. Let's see. Yeah, so one time I was doing a meditation, and this is also normal as well. Like, when you meditate, it starts to bring up emotions that you may have suppressed. And so it is common that you may feel like crying. Let yourself cry. That's a perfect opportunity to wash out some of that stuck energy with your tears. So definitely let yourself cry. Let yourself feel all the emotions that are coming up. You might feel rage, you might feel peace, you might feel anything, whatever it is that your subconscious has been holding on to. Meditation helps calm you so that you're actually allowing yourself to feel this stuff and get it out. So of course it's definitely very calming and wonderful, but that is normal if you experience a lot of emotions as well. And that's part of meditating. It allows us to release stuff. It's a beautiful thing. So, one time I was meditating, and I just, being an empath, it's just, I started to feel the pain and suffering of the world. And so I took that opportunity to help heal. Of course, it's not going to completely change the world, but it does help. And of course, the more people that are on board with that, the more it's going to help. So that's why, this world, I don't want to get deep on conspiracies or anything, but it can be a dark world. And there are things that will try to stop us from focusing, from focusing on love, from focusing on healing, because there's a destructive energy here as well. And so any little bit of help that we can get, if you're sitting back and meditating, you're helping the world. And whether you believe it or not, you really are. It's putting out a loving vibration instead of a fear-based vibration. So it does feel, it hurts. Like if you're feeling what I was feeling with all the pain and suffering, it sucks, but cry, do whatever you need to, envelop the world with loving energy in your mind, and it will help to shift the energy more. And then, once you get really good at meditating or starting to be a healer or whatever it is that your journey is, you'll be more efficient. People are going to notice this change, and they're going to want to know what you're doing and how you're doing it. And they're going to want to hop on board too. So, never think that you sitting in, and I know a lot of people don't believe this, but I don't care. Every single person that just sits back and focuses on love, it does help to shift the energy, and then you can start to change the people around you, and then it's a ripple effect, right? And then they can start to change their friends, so it's so healing and beautiful and necessary. Okay, next. So one time, I've got 2 more stories and then I'll be done. So one time, it was one of my longest meditations, and it was, I think it might have been on Christmas Eve. I'm not sure, I think. And I was meditating for about 8 hours that day, and I'll never forget it. It was really powerful, and I was like floating after. Of course, I'd get up, use the bathroom, go get a drink of water, maybe eat something real quick, just so that I wasn't getting distracted by hunger pains and stuff like that, because it was such a long session. 8 hours is a long time. And so at one point, I was laying in bed and I was meditating. I like to put stones like if I'm sitting down, I put stones all around me and I sit in the middle of the circle just for some good vibes and some healing energies. And then also when I lay down, I like to put certain stones on my chakras. And so I was laying in bed and I was meditating, and all of a sudden, like, I felt my spirit come right up above me. And so it was just hovering over me. And I could feel it kind of just moving a little bit up and down, back and forth, And it was just really mystical and really, there's no really explanation. I'm sure you can kind of get the idea. And, I wasn't like floating away or anything, but I did put myself back in after a while just because I didn't know, if I should be out of body for that long. And so eventually I did pull myself back in, but it was very cool. Like, it was just a different sensation, a different experience that I'd never experienced before. And, we are not our body. We reside in our body. And so it was kind of a neat experience to feel my soul, like besides sleeping, because we know our souls go and do things. But I was awake, and I was definitely in the moment. It was really special, actually. And then so my last story is, I'm sure I'm forgetting so many stories, but I wanted to give you my best ones that I remember. So I was sitting in cross-leg position, and I had all my stones around me, and I was doing releasing techniques. So I was bringing up a lot of pain, a lot of emotions and all that, and I was healing. And I don't remember if I picked up this stone first or after I saw the image, but so let's just say I picked it up first. So I was called to pick up this stone. Let's see. Yeah, I think you can see it pretty good. So this stone has a lot of veins in it. It's black, and it's very veiny. And I didn't know what the stone was called before I did this. So I didn't know anything about this stone really, but I was called to pick it up because I like to hold stones in my hands too when I'm meditating. And I got this, I'm feeling euphoric right now. That's awesome. Something's here with me. Hi, I love you. Okay, so what happened was I was really feeling sad and going through my motions, and I picked up the stone, and then I'm still sitting there with my eyes covered, and I have this vision of this Native American man. He had his headdress on. He was an elder. He was sitting in front of a fire, and I was sitting across the fire. So I'm sitting here, the fire, and then he's sitting across from me on the other side of the fire. And he had no expression on his face. He was just looking at me. And he was just so, how do I explain? He was so calm, but a warrior type guy. Like, he was very serious. I don't know if it's warrior or a healer, but he was taking the situation very seriously, and we were just looking at each other. And I heard him just say, "I'm here to help you." Like, I just knew. It was a knowing. He didn't say it. He never said one word out of his mouth, but just his presence, and I knew he was there protecting me and helping me and letting me know that it's okay to be vulnerable in that moment because he was there helping me. And so it was just really, really powerful. I have been told by one person that in many past lives ago, I used to run in the pack because I'm not Native American. I don't think I have any Native American blood in me. So but one of my lifetimes, I was the leader, not the leader. I used to run in the front on the horses with the chief and all the higher ranked natives. And the reason why they let me do that is because I communicated with the horses. And so they needed me up in the front so that I could help to control the horses and make sure that everything was good. So I don't know if that has to do with the Native American man. Who knows if we were even in America, but I guess I don't know. Anyways, that. So yeah, so it could be because I do have attachments to natives from past lives. It could have been someone that I have actually known. I don't really know. But I do know that when I stopped meditating, I really wanted to know what this stone meant. And so I looked it up, and because I didn't know what the name was, so I just looked up black stone with veins in it. And it's called, get this, you guys, it's called Apache Tears. Is that interesting or what? So when you meditate, you're going to get these really cool things that happen, even if you're just sitting there. If you're guided to pick up a stone, pick it up, do your meditation and look it up. Look and see what that stone means. I couldn't believe it when I had such an awesome experience with that man, protecting me, and just his strength helped me be strong. And just he sat in his power, and he was just looking at me and allowing me to release. And then, being guided to pick up this stone and it being called Apache Tears was, how do you even explain the feeling? Like, that is God sent, that is just being communicated with so deeply on such a deep level. And I just wanted to share that with you because, if you just allow yourself to learn how to quiet your mind and be in these wonderful meditation experiences, you're going to get really cool affirmations. You're going to get really cool experiences from it, I promise. And it's going to be infectious toward everyone around you, and it's going to change you. It's going to make you calmer. It's going to make you more wise. And it's going to help to open you up to other things, not in a weird way. Just do it. It's really magical, and I hope you enjoyed that. I am going to put a voice over after I record this, and I'm going to read you what Apache Tears, where that came from. It's actually quite sad. So I know a little bit of the story, but I don't want to butcher it. So I'm going to, I'll just read it to you here in a minute. But isn't that cool? That is so cool. And I know I have more stories, but I just wanted to do a nice quick video. I haven't been on here for a long time. I'm doing really well. I hope you're doing really well, considering everything that's going on. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling my nerves a little bit. And we just have to stay high vibed. We have to just stay in the now and do our best to stay out of fear and be loving to ourselves. So hopefully you enjoyed that quick video. I hope everyone is doing good. Much love to all of you. And we'll see you soon. Okay? Bye. All right, let's do this. So I got this article from crystalsandjewelry.com. You can find similar articles about the Apache Tears all over the internet, but this one was the one that resonated with me most after I had actually looked up the meaning. So this is what I have, and this is what they provided. So it says, these unique stones originate in the western United States, especially Arizona and Nevada, the parts of the United States that are known for their desert-like topography. Their names come from the First Nations Apache tribe in the United States. They were named after a gruesome story of the Apache tribe. In the 1870s, a small group of Apache warriors met the American cavalry in battle. They were sorely outnumbered, and it became clear that they could not win the battle. Instead of conceding defeat and being captured and murdered, they decided to ride their horses off the side of the mountain to their deaths. According to the story, when the wives and children of these warriors heard this story, their tears turned to stone when they touched the ground where their warriors fell. These stones were left scattered across the desert where they now can be found. Obsidian has a long history in the metaphysical study of stones as it appears all over the world. In addition to all of these properties generally associated with obsidian in all of its ordinary forms, Apache tears can have a special connection to the mythology of the Apache culture and also to the ability to recover from grief. It should be noted that given that this stone is associated with a specific cultural group, this article could not possibly cover the full range of myth and Apache lore that should be understood in order to have a well-rounded understanding of this stone. I encourage you to research the Apache tribe and its mythology, as well as its interactions with white Americans in the 19th century in order to come to a better understanding of the significance of the Apache tear stones. And I'm just going to interrupt that real quick because I had a realization that the stone is black and the tears, the veins in it are white. So, difference in color. So moving on, obsidian in its various forms can be a bit of a tricky stone to work with. It's a very powerful in dispelling negativity, but it can be temperamental and has a habit of dredging up negativity before you're actually psychically prepared to deal with it. Apache tears are a little gentler in this respect. This stone seems to have a more intuitive grasp of when it should do its job and when it should give you a rest. By using Apache tears rather than other types of obsidian, you can find that you're able to address negativity in a calmer and more constructive way. Because of their mythological origin as the tears of suffering women and children, Apache tears are deeply empathic stone that can help you through struggles gracefully and gently. They are a powerful stone for helping you to heal from grief. While some stones, especially black ones, the focus on dispelling negativity will only remove that negativity. Apache tears actually help you to deal and heal the holes that a tragic experience leaves behind. Apache tears will also help you recognize dangerous situations before they are upon you. Much as the Apache warriors in the story recognized the defeat that they would face at the hands of the U.S. cavalry and chose death as the preferable option, you will quickly develop a better intuitive sense of what you should put your energy towards and what you should give up on. Please note, however, that the deaths of the story are an extreme example. That's what she put in her article. I don't think it's an extreme example at all. So going on, doctors and other people who work in medical and healing professions should consider investing in Apache tears in order to keep themselves physically safe through the frequency traumatic experience of working with the sick and the dying. This stone will help you keep the barrier between yourself and work as clearly defined as possible so that you can do your best work to help those in need without sacrificing yourself along the way. Apache tears are the perfect stone to integrate into your life if you are struggling with an upsetting experience. Whether it's a serious trauma or just a series of bad days that have left you worn out and fragile, Apache tears can hold your metaphorical hand while you get back on your feet. Apache tears is a very comforting stone with a strongly protective meaning. These stones will protect you while you struggle to get your life back on track and experiences that you want, much like a parent holding a baby's hand when they are struggling to learn how to walk. All right, so that is it on the Apache tears meaning. You can, of course, find more information online, and I would like to welcome you to go to my email at amberdawntarot@protonmail.com, and you can inquire about a reading. You can do a tarot reading or a intuitive reading
or an astrology reading. Again, at amberdawntarot@protonmail.com. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. Much love. Bye.